Welcome back. A program, even though it's a Cole Porter title, Anything Goes, I'm not playing that song, but Anything Goes, whatever. This tune, I don't even know if it was on the list, random. Gershwin classic, The Man I Love. Gershwin was one of the favorites of the jazz musicians. Art Tatum had a great recording of this. Also, Miles and Monk recorded this, playing it slow, then he would pick up the tempo as I did. Wonderful composition, The Man I Love. The other thing is, this happens to be on a CD from the early 90s called Deja Vu. A good friend, Stu Kohler, named it Deja Vu, and that's a title piece which I will play. Deja Vu was produced by a wonderful friend with great ears. I talked to him again today, Mark Hyatt. He lived here, but he's on the East Coast. And hopefully, maybe, I don't know, depending, as they say in jazz, on the bread, maybe I'll find an angel to come up with some bread and we can put it out, because the CD got excellent review by Danish-American critic Chris Albertson. He wrote a book on Bessie Smith, and he said it's a CD worth hearing and rehearing. Anyway, I do hope that we can put it out. Thank you, Mark Hyatt. Deja Vu. Next, I think I will attempt, even though I haven't played it in a while, the title track, Deja Vu. It's a combination of Middle Eastern, Gypsy Roma, Slavic, Turkish, Arabic motifs combined with blues. They fit naturally. Little sip of Turkish coffee for this piece. Deja Vu, I think in the near future we're gonna put it on YouTube so a lot of people can hear it. It's a mix of the old world and plus the American blues. Let me see. So many things here. Oh, I got an idea. Okay. For a change of pace, we'll go to Hawaii. And what it is, Moon of Manakura. This tune comes from 1937 film Hurricane, starring John Hall and Dorothy Lamour. They are supposed to be two natives and they want to get married, but as if they don't have their own mind and feeling, they have to be supervised by a, what do you call it, a white guardian played by Raymond Massey, governor of the island, you know. Those were the days, you know. That was the setup. But the composer, Alfred Newman, 20th Century Fox composer, the tune Street Scene, I think I should play it later, was used in so many film noir, haunting bluesish theme, title of the CD that I have. So, but Alfred Newman composed this piece, really a great composer. Moon of Monakura. get the idea to swing it? Well, Wayne Shorter was one of the very creative musicians. He loved movies, and most likely he saw it in a film. He did a swinging recording of this Muno Manakura with Freddie Hubbard blowing some great trumpet. So it works well as a ballad and also a format lending bebop. Bebop can work with so many different things. Moon of Manakura. Now, let's look at the list. This is a song that I first heard. Vince Guaraldi, he was my early mentor. Another one was Richard Wyans, and later the great Barry Harris. Barry Harris recorded this piece, Just As Though You Were Here, from late 30s, I think by composer Brooks Benton, and could have been early 40. And when I subbed for Vince in Palo Alto, DuPont family's son, Michael DuPont, opened a club in Palo Alto. Outside, at the inside, you go inside and you go on the roof. Summer gig. So who did I sub for? Great singer David Allen with the Boyd Rayburn Band. I'll tell you about that band in a minute. A revolutionary band, breaking records. So who else was on the bill after that? Irene Kroll. Great experience for me. But Just As Though You Were Here, it's about a person, somebody you love that is no longer there, either passed away or left. And there you are reminiscing about the great moments. written by, let me just double check if I have it written here. 1 second to get the right name. Oh yeah, John Benson Brooks. The reason I mentioned the composer, look up the lyrics. They make the whole difference describing and fitting this beautiful melody with the lyrics, the story. Well, not a bad time to mention, I'm not a tech person. I need to pay somebody to set up the microphones, the camera, the sound. And in the jazz terms, they say, it wouldn't hurt to get a little bread so I can keep paying the person and keep the show going. On the side of the piano where the camera goes, you can see 3 ways: Pele, Zelle, and PayPal. PayPal, Zelle, and Venmo. So whatever you can do, big or small, it helps. Thank you, and I think I just saw on the list the original I wrote for my wonderful wife, Sana Craig, former journalist, percussionist, vocalist. This is Beboppin'. 1 second. Beboppin' all goes back. Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, Bud Powell. New music, advanced from swinging, but a little more sophisticated linear lines, improved harmonies, and just more of the elements of surprise. great era in jazz. I was so fortunate. I heard Bud Powell in Paris, and I heard him in Copenhagen. What an experience, the phrasing, the feeling. However, everything was so relaxed too, just a mastery. And what was interesting, in Copenhagen, he was playing with Dexter Gordon, and they played around midnight. And Bud Powell, he hardly used any pedal on the balance. He just let the sound resonate from the piano. He studied classical music and great guy. He, unfortunately, like others, had problem with substance abuse. Even though he had psychological problems, but he did not help. When a Philadelphia racist cop, Bud was drunk in this place, but he did not deserve beaten with a stick to a pulp. Sad history, what happened to jazz musicians. And Bud was, what is interesting, on the power of the Holy Spirit. Bud was under electricity, shock treatment, all that stuff. After that, he made some of his best records. He did not kill it, man. The Spirit came through. Bud Powell. I think maybe I should play around midnight, and I do use a pedal. Maybe I'll use less. But Thelonious Monk, great master. selection, written by Monk, was first recorded in a prominent setting by Cootie Williams' big band. Around 44, the band had two stalwarts, Bud Powell on piano playing beautiful stuff, and Eddie Cleanhead Vinson, the bebop alto and a blues master. I'm fortunate to have played with him at Keystone Corner, recording a live album there. And Cleanhead is noted writing beautiful bebop pieces. 4, Miles Davis ripped it, put his name on it. Also, tune-up. Jon Hendricks told me in the studio when Miles recorded 4, of course, he's not going to use Cleanhead's name to put his own name on it. So what do we call it? So, there's 4 of us in a studio: Art Blakey, Percy Heath, Horace Silver, and Miles. We'll call it 4. Interesting history. And let's see what else. Speaking of Miles, Clean had so much fun enjoying life, playing, drinking, and this and that. He didn't feel like getting a lawyer, but Benny Carter, master musician, was a businessman. Miles took his tune, When Lights Are Low, used the same melody. Benny Carter didn't use Benny's bridge, but for the bridge, he put it from F to B flat, 4th up. Anyway, Benny had a lawyer. Miles quickly took his name off it. So, all kinds of stories. Let's see, what do we do now? I mentioned we're not playing Cole Porter, Anything Goes, but here is Cole Porter, Get Out of Town. Beautiful piece. Mel Torme did a great recording, and my favorite instrumental is by Jerry Mulligan. He used the piano on this. The album is called Jeru, nickname that Miles gave him. That's the name, and this one has none other than the great pianist Tommy Flanagan. I should have played it a little slower. It would have had better groove. Tommy plays great solo, and what helps, they have a conga player, Alec Dorsey. Boy, really groove. Let's see. Sometimes a little slow is better. It could be even slower than that. A great tune. Get Out of Town. I see something on the list not heard very often these days. Composer Carl Fischer. This one is from 1945. We'll Be Together Again. A beautiful tune. 2 or 3 years before that, Carl Fischer wrote a classic, You've Changed, and recorded first by Harry James, but then Billie Holiday on her last album before she passed away. She wasn't well, but the soul came through. Lady in Satin, You've Changed, and then Dexter recorded it. Beautiful. And this is We'll Be Together Again. Bud Powell's playing was simply brilliant, and when he was in a better frame of mind of spirit, he would say some very profound things. Dizzy Gillespie, a brilliant guy, didn't have the problems with the substance that Bud Powell did. He was so sharp at the moment of everything. I mentioned this before, but we have different people watching. I'm playing in Buffalo, New York with Jon Hendricks at a main club, Royal Arms, where they had Train, Miles, Dizzy, and different people. So on the day off, we go to Canada to a Canadian dentist's home, play a party. His children play jazz. So at the border, a Canadian guard says to Dizzy, "American?" Dizzy said, "Half." At the induction center in the Second World War, Dizzy was being interviewed. He said, "If you give me a gun, I may shoot the wrong person." 4F home. That's the story. from mid-60s, a bossa nova, not with super modern harmonies like Jobim had, more like a Portuguese or what they call in Brazil choro, based, influenced by Portuguese fado, simpler, soulful melodies, called recado, which I believe means a message, and composer with an unusual name, Djalma Ferreira. What I forgot to mention earlier when I played Just As Though You Were Here, David Allen sang with a revolutionary band in the 40s. Boyd Rayburn, not only musically revolutionary, they used the elements of Stravinsky and Bartok combined with swing. Dizzy was in a band. Imagine a band in those days with 5 black musicians. No band at that time had that. Dizzy and the trumpet player could have been Ernie Royal sometime, but trombone was Trummy Young. Saxophone, Lucky Thompson. On bass, Oscar Pettiford, the master. Courage. Boyd Rayburn was ahead of his time in both ways. Another first for that band, Night in Tunisia, was recorded not by Dizzy with his band, it was recorded in this band. First time, so Boyd Rayburn was ahead of his time. Couple pieces, let's see. I mentioned about East European Jewish composers, beautiful melodic contribution, romantic. This one was born Jules Stein. His parents came from Ukraine, and another gentleman who came from Ukraine was Vernon Duke, Vladimir Dukelsky, Autumn in New York. So Jules Stein was born in London, and so many masterpieces. This one is, it's been a long, long time. Kiss Me Once, Kiss Me Twice, Kiss Me Once Again. It's been a long, long time. He also wrote a tune that Irving Berlin said that was his favorite, the greatest of all. I Don't Want to Walk Without You. This is, it's been a long, long time. the romance in the old days was really something. But you know something, it was a different era. All the songs were romantic besides swinging tunes. Phenomenal. And people were dancing. Cheek to cheek swing. Another total different era. That gives me an idea. Dancing, I think I'll conclude with stomping at the Savoy. Savoy, the biggest ballroom in the world in Harlem. Whole city block. 4,000 to 5,000 on the dance floor. Phenomenal construction, high quality wood. Windows with beautiful glass and decoration in the ballroom. They had a special corner for competition, and one of the masters of Lindy Hop and swing was a dancer called Frankie Manning. He would usually win. So the movies too had more romance, so it was another era. So it's the idea to revive it, you know, and we'll do a short version of Stomping at the Savoy. Great ballroom. The house band was Chick Webb, swinging, great. Ella Fitzgerald, the vocalist. Thank you for joining me. Next week, I'll figure another interesting theme, and the end of the program, some people maybe didn't hear it before on the side of the piano. I'm not a tech guy. I have to pay the microphone setup, the sound. So whatever tip you can do to help it going, it's right here. It's explained on the piano. Thank you for being here, and see you next Saturday. Oh, I gotta mention, you can join and find out whatever I'm playing. A big one, May 13th, Yoshi's Wednesday. Phenomenal band. 19-year-old teenage lady trumpet player from San Mateo, Skylar Tank, Bebop, Steve Heckman, Jamie Davis, wonderful vocalist, Hartman and Coltrane ballads, Hector Lugo, congas, great rhythm section. Check my website. Thank you. Thanks for being here.